Hey guys, I'm excited to have you in our summer section. Just a couple of reminders. Our course is 100% asynchronous. So what I thought I would do is just kind of do a quick screencast about how the course will be structured. So I frequently use the announcements tab. Anytime I need to get in touch with you quickly, I will post an announcement. You'll see I posted our first announcement on May 25th, just about textbook information. I will always post when I'm publishing a module, when I'm posting any new information or resources that you didn't already have access to at the start of the week. You can definitely look there for guidance. If you click on our homepage, it automatically attaches the syllabus and kind of uses that as the homepage. Please keep in mind it's a draft. I mean, it's mostly done. It's just that there are slight chances I may update a couple of due dates. But generally speaking, everything is here that you need. You can find my email address, how long the course runs, the writing program website. I'm just going to go over a couple of important things. Here we have our textbooks. They're also posted in a few other spots for you. There are course rules. I would make sure you go through these thoroughly because they really are strict and they're sort of beyond my control. They're department rules that I have to follow. A lot of students like to know the grading breakdown. You can find that here if you ever need it. Academic integrity is a really important thing that we try to uphold at Rutgers. Every assignment that you submit will automatically be turned into turnitin.com, which is one of the biggest paper repositories in the world. So it will check for plagiarism. I can go through this more if you would like. Just shoot me an email if you want more information on that, or even if you'd like to see a sample Turnitin report. Just one note there, you will have access to your own Turnitin reports. You'll see that they normally have a color associated with a percentage. For example, you might have 5%, which means that 5% of your paper, word for word, is coming from other sources. As long as they are cited, you are fine. Usually if it's in the 5% range, that's low, so it would be green, which means good. The higher you get, like let's say you're around 30%, it might be red, which means this is probably too much. So if any of you need help reading one of those Turnitin reports, just let me know. There's just a couple of extra pieces of information down below. Here I have the library guide for our course, and it's great. So I just want to show you this so you can bookmark it and at least know where it is on our course page. This is an excellent resource that we will likely go over next week, maybe the week after, but it helps you understand the research process. Librarians built this page, so they go over everything that is the foundation of our course, and they sort of apply it to how you should be researching different components of your paper. Please note that there are different categories that you can click on the left-hand side. The librarians have also been kind enough to make small videos for you just to kind of demonstrate certain skills or abilities. And all of these videos are very brief. They're usually 6 minutes or less, which makes them, in my opinion, pretty easy to digest. But you'll see there's a ton here. They also give you information on different sources that you can use. And then here you can see, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's librarians that you can contact. Just going back to our page, there's a weekly breakdown. Here's where I may switch things around, but I will update it weekly, so you'll always have the most updated version of the syllabus if you're following this. Going on, probably the most used section of Canvas would be modules. If you click modules, you'll see I've already published our first week. So this is kind of how I organize everything. There will always be, under every weekly module, a week overview. So you'll see here, I try to categorize it for you. Here's what you need to kind of read and look through. And anything that's due, I try to put in red to make that easier for you. And then I try to categorize your homework. Please let me know if you have questions. Remember, this is a summer course, so it's a little bit more intensive and the pacing's a little bit faster. So if you need any help or assistance, feel free to ask. But this is kind of your go-to for what do I need to do this week. In the past, I've had students create a checklist from this just to kind of stay organized. Going back to the modules, you'll see that each week I try to include a screencast or a lecture. So you'll see here, this is the screencast I'm currently recording, so that will eventually pop up here. But this is kind of the intro to our course. It's a brief video. It will go over important course details like expectations, the way that the writing program uses rules and expectations, how you need to be familiar with them, all of that. But also it will go over the first chapter of our textbook. So it's also doubling as a mini lecture, whereas this one is more so just going over Canvas and how I use it. Going back to our home modules page, anytime I'm using a PowerPoint, I will attach it for you. So those are just resources that I used in my recorded lectures. You will see here that there are a few discussion threads. I just want to very briefly talk about this one. The defining a paradigm questions are due Saturday by midnight, and you will have until Tuesday to respond to other people. So you'll see that you got assigned one question. The one question you got assigned should be about 300 words. Just going down a bit, you are going to then respond to the 4 other questions. These are brief. They're really only 100 to 150 words, but it's just so you can familiarize yourself with the other questions. It could just be an extension of what the person is saying, a comment on how they responded, how it makes you understand the course material more. It's a very, very easy way just to kind of get through an article and sort of understand those questions while only being responsible really for one. So just to clarify, you are posting your assigned answer, which is only one question, by Saturday at midnight, and then you must respond to the other questions. So if you got assigned question 1, you will respond to 2, 3A, 3B, and 4. And you can just make sure that you're scrolling down. As you post your questions, just make sure you're labeling which question you were assigned. It'll just make it easier and more fluid. Going back to modules, the Alred text is really good because it has a lot of detail on how to write, how to cite, just a lot of writing and research instruction. So you'll see I've given you a few sections to read. Whether you have a new edition or an old edition for this one, usually it's categorized into different sections that you can find in the table of contents, but you'll see here I gave you the option of either writing an informal paragraph-long reflection, or if you would rather, you can also write about a half a page of notes. So whichever is easier for you is fine with me. The newspaper assignment is posted here. I want you guys to introduce yourselves. So you'll see I just briefly introduced myself. I just gave a couple of interesting facts about myself. You'll just reply and introduce yourself. The last thing I want to talk about just for this week is the potential proposals topics. And what I want to do is actually go to my summer class from last year, 2021, and I just want to show you what that looks like. So you'll see here, let me find it. Potential proposal topics. Students basically commented just a few ideas that they had. So you'll see each student is commenting 2, sometimes 3 ideas for their research. What I will do once you comment your idea for what you'd like to research, I will copy and paste it, and then in a different color, I'll give you feedback and tell you how well I think it will work, if I think you should tweak it at all. So it's just a nice way to get feedback before you move forth with your research. I guess the last thing I want to talk about is office hours. So I do not really have set office hours. I basically would like to meet with you when it's best for you. I do have a decent amount of availability. So if you ever would like to meet for office hours, please just keep me posted and shoot me an email, and we can always schedule either a phone conference or a Zoom conference. The last thing I wanted to mention, there will be weeks where I have live meetings, but they will be totally optional. I'll try to do them later on in the evening. I feel like that works best for most people. I usually have them before major assignments. This way you can kind of check in and ask questions, get direct feedback. I can do a quick review of things. If you're ever unable to attend, I will always post a recording. If you guys have any questions about the course setup or how everything is structured for our summer section, please let me know, but I'm really looking forward to working with you this semester.